Hello my loves, my kids are being very loud, FYI. Welcome back to my channel. So of course, as you could tell from the title, today I'm going to share my drugstore viral worthy makeup routine. This is something that has been going viral on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, so I honestly don't know, but I have seen a lot of people share their drugstore routine. So here I am sharing some of my current favorite drugstore products that I feel are viral worthy. That's it, that's all we're doing. There's a few of the drugstore items that I'm going to use in today's video that are kind of new to the market, but as soon as I try them, I honestly fell in love with them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this video. All right, so we are going to start with primers. I'm not gonna lie, I don't purchase drugstore primers too often, but these two I know that I absolutely love and keep using time and time again. I'm almost done with this one, which is the CoverGirl Pore Minimizing True Blend Primer. This is pretty old and I'm pretty sure the packaging has changed on these, but I love it. It's such a good one. It does keep my pores looking pretty good all day. If you have any favorite drugstore primers, let me know. I know e.l.f. is a top contender, but I don't think I've tried a primer from Wet n Wild in quite some time. NYX, let me know. I know that marshmallow jelly, is that what it's called? The pink one that smelled like marshmallows from NYX. That one went really viral, but it was like $18 for a primer. This is the Power Grip Primer with the 4% niacinamide. I do enjoy this one. People who have tried this one and the original Power Grip said there's not too much of a difference between the two, so that's it for the primers that I'll be using today. Okay, for the base, we're gonna jump into this new e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. Now, I also absolutely love the NYX, what was it called? Glaze skin tint. That one is also absolutely beautiful. If I had to pick between that one and this one, for some reason I enjoy this one a tiny bit more. Maybe because of how lightweight it is. I feel like the NYX, you can definitely tell that it does have SPF in it, and the texture of it is just a tiny bit closer to feeling like SPF versus this e.l.f. one. So this is what we're using today. I have the shade 6 Light Cool. It's a little light when I first apply it, but this for some reason does oxidize. So by the time I'm done with my makeup, it looks pretty good, a good match. When I ordered this through the e.l.f. website, I did notice that when I would use shade 5 and 7 combined, by the end of the day, I looked so tan in my face, darker than the rest of my body. I think if I were to get shade 5, even though it might look a tiny bit lighter than what I am skin tone wise right now, by the end of the day it would probably look like the color that I have now or a tiny bit darker. I didn't notice this until I was watching Juicy Jazz and she mentioned it, and then I started noticing that by the end of the day, even though this one seems like it's too light for me, it matches me quite well. So just a little FYI. Yeah, the texture on this one is just so nice. This is the Jumbo Base from Sonia G. Right, this is what my skin is looking like. My kids are being very loud. Okay, for concealers, I actually don't purchase too many drugstore concealers. I purchase more foundation skin tints from the drugstore than I do concealers, but this L'Oreal Skin Ink Concealer Foundation. So you can use this as a concealer or as a foundation all over the face. I mean, it's $19, right? Is that how much? $18.99 I think is what I paid, or maybe less. Did I get it? No, I got it off of the Ulta website. At Walmart, if you find it in person, I don't know if it's available just yet in person at Walmart, but you could probably get it like $2 cheaper. There is a ball in here, so you can make sure to shake it because it does start to settle pretty quickly. but I've been loving this. This is what I took camping and I used it as my foundation and concealer, and it worked beautifully. If you're somebody who needs a good amount of coverage, this is probably not for you. It is very lightweight, very liquidy, so it doesn't have a ton of coverage, but for me, the amount of coverage it has is perfect. So I did find those who tried this and enjoy more coverage under the eyes didn't really like it too much as a concealer, but it blends out so nicely, sinks right into the skin. This is the Jumbo Worker from Sonia G. Yeah, it's a good one. The tone I got, which is 140 medium warm, is actually a good match for both foundation and concealer. I can make it work both ways. Yeah, really enjoyed this. I'm glad I took it for when we went camping because just the light weight of the formula was perfect. Okay, I'm a little extra when it comes to my makeup steps. I do both cream and powder products. I just find that my makeup lasts so much longer. My cheeks are the area where blush gets eaten up so quickly, and if I layer powder on top of cream products, it just guarantees that it's going to be there all day. For contour, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. The shade I purchased, is it light medium? Yeah, and I can't remember if it was the second or third shade, but I purchased this one specifically because the tone looked more like a contouring tone, but I can actually use this as a bronzer product because it's pretty neutral on me. We're going to use it as a contour today because I do have a really super underrated cream bronzer that I really enjoy. This is the Sigma and Samantha Concealer Kabuki, but I use this for my cream bronzer and contour because it's too big of a brush for concealer. I don't even know, is this brush still available? Yes, I think the Sigma and Brianna Fox brush set is no longer available. This one still is with Samantha Ravindell. Yeah, so it's a beautiful formula, very lightweight. It does have a decent amount of pigment, so you don't have to use a ton, but it does blend out very easily, and it does dry down as well still. See that? Gorgeous. For the bronzer, we're gonna jump into this Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer 120 Spilling Tea. I think this is the second lightest shade, and when this was launched, not too many people talked about it, and it's a good product. It's one of those cream to powder formulas, so it does dry down, it doesn't stay sticky, it blends out really nicely, seamlessly. I think Paige Corn is the only one that I saw talking about this recently, because she did do a video about her drugstore viral routine, or I forget what the title of the video was, but do you see that? It's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. I don't know why more people didn't talk about this one. Okay, for cream blush, I don't own too many drugstore blushes in general, really. For me, FYI, even though I am going to feature a product from this brand, ColourPop is not a drugstore product. At least for me, it isn't, because I have to go into an Ulta to buy it. I don't think ColourPop is available at CVS or Walgreens. No, it's available at Target. I don't think it's available at Walmart. Personally, ColourPop is not a drugstore brand. It's a more affordable brand that you can buy at Target or Ulta. I will be featuring a product from ColourPop, but I'll tell you about it once we get there. I pulled out this CoverGirl 2 Blend Skin Enhancer, and I actually do really enjoy this formula. It's really, really pretty. It's a cream to powder kind of formula, so it does dry down. It doesn't stay tacky. The tone that I got, I believe it's the lightest one, Nude Flush. It's a little bit light, and I do have to pack it on a tiny bit, but it's a beautiful formula. I also have the contour in this formula, and it's really nice too. But the Milani and the e.l.f. kind of won that battle. All right, I'm gonna use this 112 from BK, and it does blend out really nicely, very easily. It is a tiny bit, like I said, of a sheer formula. It's a balm, so the base does become a tiny bit translucent, but I can still make this work. Really, really nice. There are so many blush formulas available. The About Face cream blush is also really nice, but again, for me, that's not a drugstore brand. I kind of wanted to try the CoverGirl, the one that looks like the Hourglass formula, the little drop liquid blush. But every time I go into my Walmart and look for it, they don't have it. And I don't want to place an order just for the blushes, you know? And this they did have. I do have the e.l.f. Sheer For It blush tint. So this is for the cheeks and the lips. But when I tried it on my cheeks, I didn't enjoy it. It just wasn't a favorite formula for my cheeks. This CoverGirl is the next best thing. I think there's 4 or 5 different blush shades available, and I think they all look beautiful, but I think the formula for sure is a standout. Okay, now we're gonna jump into powder, but let me show you. Do you see my base? It's so just flawless. It's cloudy today, and I love it when it's cloudy outside because the footage just looks so good. All right, I'm gonna set my under eyes with my almost done ColourPop setting spray because next is powder. I, again, don't buy too many powders from the drugstore. Too many powders in general, honestly. I try not to because I don't think I've ever panned a full-size powder. So, yeah. Okay. For the under eyes, this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop mattifying powder. I'm going to use this under my eyes. I have the shade Fair, and you can definitely tell that this is very loved because there was an embossment of a heart in the pan. It's gone. This is actually a really good powder. I didn't see too many people talk about it. Juicy Jazz, and then who else? I cannot remember who else did rave about it. This is a really good powder. I know when it first came out, some people compared it to the Charlotte Tilbury. I wouldn't say it's a comparable powder to that, but it does work really nicely, and I do enjoy this under my eyes. Even though it does say mattifying powder, it's actually not drying at all for my under eyes. As you can see, I used it quite a bit. That pan looks pretty used and abused. I also don't apply a ton of powder under my eyes, so that could be why. But I do remember seeing some people mention that it was too dry for the under eyes. For me, that's not the case. It's not too dry for my under eyes. It actually looks very, very pretty. And I got Fair because I feel like when powders, pressed powders specifically, have a tiny bit of pigment, going 1 to 2 shades lighter just works a tiny bit better. And for the face, we're going to use the Halo Glow Powder Filter Pressed Powder. I also have this in Fair. Online, this looks like it has a pinky undertone, but when I use it, I don't feel like it does. I'm going to use this NARS. Now, I go very lightly, so I dip my brush and then I tap it on the palm of my hand, and then that's what I use because it can get heavy and it can add extra coverage. I don't want extra coverage. The amount of coverage I have right now, this combo is a good one. I've also used this powder with the NYX Glaze Skin Tint, and it's really, really good. This powder is so underrated. So if you're looking for a drugstore powder, this e.l.f. one is definitely worth it. I don't know how it would work if you have oily skin. I'm talking probably about normal or dry skin. Okay, now comes the part where I bring out a ColourPop product. I'm pretty sure this is the only ColourPop product in this video, and that's only because when it comes to eyeshadows, the market's not so great at the drugstore. It just isn't, and that's totally okay. I do have a couple of individual shadows from, is it Maybelline? I think Maybelline. Moira, is it Moira? I cannot remember, but I decided to pull out this ColourPop, the New Moon eyeshadow palette, and cheat a tiny bit and use this for today. Again, for me, ColourPop, it's not a drugstore brand. It just isn't, and that's okay. So we're gonna create an eye look with this ColourPop New Moon palette, which I absolutely love. So glad I picked it up on sale when ColourPop was having a sale. It's honestly such a pretty palette. I'm just gonna create a quick little eye look, nothing, you know, super out there. So I think I'm gonna use this tone and this pretty one here, and then we'll see what shimmer. So I'll start with Marry Me, which is the lighter shade, and I use that as like a crease shade. Now the dark brown, Your Everything. This is a B1 from Blend Bunny. I probably should have brought you in closer. Apologies. Okay, I think I'm going to jump into this one here, maybe a tiny bit of this one. So Trade Secrets, and then Mood Control is the lighter one. I did forget to mention I used the Moira eyeshadow primer. So when I lived in Texas at HEB, Moira Cosmetics was sold in stores, and I totally forgot I had this, so I will be using this more. I honestly don't remember how it performed, so let me add that golden yellow. Well, it's more of a golden orange yellow, and it's a metallic kind of tone, so no super interesting glitter sparkles in it. It's just a silky smooth shimmer. And I did put some of the Unearthly glitter primer. Okay, now Mood Control, which almost looks like a shifty kind of shimmer. I'm going very lightly. All right, I am gonna pick up this Grounded palette from Glaminatrix and use the white matte in the palette and use that as my inner corner shade. But we're pretty much done with this eye look. Yeah. Okay, my kids. I hope you can't hear that. All right, I do not currently have a brow pencil. I went ahead and used my Refi brow pencil. It's done. Just pan to this. I have tried the NYX, is it Micro? The Thin retractable eyebrow pencil from NYX. I did enjoy that. I just haven't repurchased it. The e.l.f. one, I've tried the dollar one and the one that's a tiny bit more expensive. Did enjoy both of those. The one that costs $1, I feel is a tiny bit more waxy. I tried one from Milani, no. CoverGirl, no. I think those are the only drugstore ones I have tried. I do feel like when it comes to the drugstore, they do have a good amount of brow products. Brow gels is the only area where I feel it's a hit or miss, but as far as brow pencils, they all have pretty good choices. All right, I'm gonna jump in to powder bronzer, and this one is the Buttermelt bronzer from NYX Cosmetics. I also have a blush, but it's too dark, so I don't think I'm gonna use that today. We'll see. Anyways, this is the Wayne Goss #1 brush. This is very pigmented, so you do have to tread softly. Probably tap the excess on the palm of my hand so I don't put too much. That is the only thing I would change about this. It's just the pigment. It's too much. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh, battery's low. Okay, now for blushes. I feel like I definitely lack a tiny bit of blushes in the drugstore category. I do have a couple. I have a NYX Buttermelt blush, but the tone I have is a tiny bit too dark for what I'm looking for right now. I pulled out this Catrice blush box. It's water and sweat proof. I don't even know if this is available anymore. It's pretty old. 20 Glistening Pink is the tone I have. Let me know what are your favorite drugstore, it's like falling apart, but powder blushes. I would love to know and definitely pick one up. This is the Soft Face from Sonia G, but I definitely need to get rid of some of the ones that I do have because they're like 6, 7, 8 years old. But this one, it's a pretty nude pink, very similar to that CoverGirl cream blush I used. Okay, for highlighter, we're gonna jump into this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. So this is kind of like the Charlotte Hollywood Flawless Filter, except the applicator is different. We're gonna use this. It's gonna be a very natural kind of. Let's see if I can even get any product out. Very natural kind of highlight. What shade do I have? 01. This might be dried out now that I'm trying to push product up. Yeah, this might be, it looks like it might be dried out. That's how old this is. I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand and see if I can pick it up like that because I think it's dried out. It's supposed to be, like I said, like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Okay, I think I'm finally getting something. It looks pretty icy now that I'm doing that, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh yeah, it's gonna be just a very natural kind of highlight. And I don't have too many. I have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid. I just don't know where it's at. I just don't have too many highlighters that are at drugstore. That new one that NYX came out with looked pretty, but tiny bit too bling bling for my personal taste. This right here is kind of like what I enjoy. Yeah, see, very natural kind of highlight. That's what I personally enjoy. All right, now for mascara, this new Wrap Lash Tubing Mascara from Makeup Revolution. I'm pretty sure I've seen Makeup Revolution at CVS, Walgreens, like the actual drugstore stores. So I do consider this brand a drugstore brand. This is the only current drugstore mascara I own. I have tried a couple. It's been a minute. Another category that I don't purchase drugstore too often from, and I should, because I feel like drugstore mascaras are actually really good. So if you have an absolute favorite drugstore mascara, let me know. Okay, I don't use, so I don't have any drugstore recommendations for those. I do have a couple of NYX eyeliners, gel liners, and I do enjoy those the very rare times that I do use them. This Maybelline Super Lock Gel is so good. I will be repurchasing this, not right away, but yes, in the future I will be repurchasing this eyebrow gel. It keeps my eyebrows put, doesn't leave them crunchy. It does stay pretty soft, but it keeps my eyebrows in place. Very rare for the drugstore. I feel like most drugstore eyebrow gels I've tried, they just don't do what they're supposed to do. I think I remember Paige Corin, when I was watching her video, mentioned that the L'Oreal one is really good. So I might have to check that one out before I repurchase this one. I did not try the new tinted one that Maybelline came out with. Do you see that? I love this brow gel. Maybelline did so good with it. All right, for lips, I fell in love with these Teddy Tints from Maybelline. I only have 2 tones. I wish I had more. Pinky Promise is the pinky tone one. I do love this one more than the nude one, which is Current Mood. But I feel like I have used these so much. For this video, I'll put them down. But I do have to give a shout out to this e.l.f. Sheer For It Blush Tint. My absolute favorite out of the 2 that I purchased, and the one that I've used the most, is the Left on Red, which is the red tone one. But I think for today we'll use the plum one. And Milani, I have really been loving this Milani lip liner. It's the Color Statement lip liner in all natural. It's a tiny bit light for my complexion, but I can still make it work. The way I use it, I make it look like the popsicle lip, but I feel like NYX has been great and has been a winner for years and years and years when it comes to lip liners. I'm trying to think, have I tried an e.l.f. lip liner? I don't remember if I have, but they just came out with some that were $2. Who else? I'm trying to remember. There's not too many drugstore lip liners that I have tried, and I should, because I feel like they're probably really good for a cheaper price. So if you have a favorite drugstore lip liner that's not NYX or Milani, let me know. See, popsicle lips, it looks so pretty. All right, let me assess the situation, come back and we can finish off this video. All right, my loves, and here is the full completed drugstore makeup look. So pretty. This combo, this lip combo, oh my goodness, so pretty. Just a quick little honorable mention. These NYX matte lip balms, really nice, very comfortable. If you don't like shiny lips, these are perfect for that. Okay, that's it. That's it for this video. I had so much fun taking out some drugstore items and using them. You know, I feel like nowadays when it comes to makeup, it's very rare that makeup brands mess it up. Also, it's just so common for drugstore brands to have amazing products. You could probably do a full face on one side of drugstore makeup and on the other of high-end makeup, and you can probably make it look, if not identical, pretty close. I don't think the price tag matters. So yeah, okay, here is my drugstore viral worthy makeup routine. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if any of the products I use are products that you have in your collection. And also let me know of any favorites that I didn't mention. Thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes, if you use my links to shop. It truly all does mean the world to me. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you all on my next video.